Hey Lena, let's take a look at your week 2 assignment 3 drawing. I think the drawing, it looks to be the same as the last one that we saw, but I think the color additions are, I think for the most part, they are working out well. It does feel, I would say, a little bit limited in some instances. I think the back element, the back cube, could use a little bit more color interaction to it. I think the other thing is that there's not a whole lot of variation between the colors. There's just kind of a lot of very similar warm colors, here, and then these three, and then some cooler colors, which bear a striking resemblance to the background. So in a way, it feels it does feel limited, although everything does have a color component in place, and in some cases has multiple colors in place. You've got yellows, you've got oranges, and you've got siennas in the wood texture. So it's not like you're foregoing multiple markers, but I think just the way, probably like you said, I think maybe just the color scheme that you have in place doesn't vary enough. It feels kind of like an analogous color scheme, which tends to be really high in unity, but can sometimes be very limited in visual interest. So I think maybe just introducing, maybe introduce kind of like a brighter blue into one of these kind of lines that are going vertically, or introduce some greens into the object in the in the center here, or even some greens into some of the others, like the wicker or like the wood. I don't think would be out of place, and that might help to kind of break up that kind of that feeling. I think everything else is working fine. A lot of the stuff that we would go over in this would be things like lighting and value and shading and that sort of stuff, and that was there in the last drawing, so it's still present here. You've got a value range where things are lighter, much lighter on the top and darker along the sides. You're shading things pretty consistently. There's some development in the ground plane a little bit more, which is good to see. So not, I think, a whole lot to kind of talk about that we haven't already talked about. I think for the next, few assignments, I think just being able to expand upon this is all you need to do. I think experiment with colors a little bit more, seeing what things work and don't work in terms of color mixtures and overlaying colors on top of things. Maybe expand upon your background a little bit more so that it doesn't just kind of enclose within the shapes themselves, but can kind of extend a little bit further beyond and suggest a little more of an open situation. But I think overall it's a good, solid job. I think it could use a little bit more of a push with the color, but I think as the first kind of full-blown assignment that we deal with like this, I think it turned out pretty good.